Hello Aries, this is your tarot reading for the dates of July 23rd through July 29th. Welcome back all subscribers. Hello new viewers. It's going to be a wonderful week. And you've pulled one major arcana card that crosses you and your environment. It's the Moon card. This is Colette Baron Reed's tarot card deck. It's called the Good Tarot. And you pull the Moon card. This could indicate travel. This could indicate you're working with psychics, you're working with spiritual counselors or light workers or that kind of thing. This also could indicate that you're working with women. You've pulled or a mother substitute, a mother archetype that crosses you in your environment. There's also some irritable energy surrounding you, and it just kind of looks like maybe people are getting, the energy could be because of the eclipse happening in a month, so the energy is starting to brew. That's how it feels to me, because we pull the Moon card, and here, you know, the solar eclipse, when the moon, you know, eclipses the sun for that 3 minutes on August 19th, and people are starting to wonder if that's a sign, and I'm here to reassure you, if it is, it's just a good sign. And people always, you could either, you know, men especially get a little nervous around female energy, and that's the sign. Moon is the sign of female energy, and the irritation might be because of the shift of consciousness where female energy is influencing more than the male energy. So take it with a grain of salt. You're coming from aces, and another thing, Aries, it's not unusual for you to cut through adversity all at one time and try to get it out of the way all at one time, and people don't get that, so they kind of take that as being forceful. But you have an opportunity here to cut through the mire. There was some energy that bogged you down, and now you have the courage of your convictions to open your arms to this opportunity that's coming along with the Ace of Swords, or here it's called the Ace of Air card. And again, you have, let's talk about where you're coming from. It's the Six of Cups card. Here is this talks about nostalgia. You could be feeling that the people that you're interacting with now, you have karma with them. You could be aware that you have karma with them. It could be getting lost in the past or romanticizing the past. So a refusal to be in present time where all this interesting energy is. And so we're going back to the past and going, wow, things used to be much better back in the past. And or it could be where you really wanted to interact with people. You have like this childlike joie de vivre or passion for what you're doing in present time, and people are seeing that as a different animal. They don't get the fact that you're happy and carefree and happy-go-lucky and enjoying present time, and you know, so they're meeting you with serious energy. And the Seven of Wands energy in your near future is sticking up for yourself, or sticking up for your pet projects, or doing the right thing regardless of what authority figures say around you. And they kind of see your optimism as a different animal. I'm curious that this is the unicorns. So it's like you're respecting the flow of life, and that unicorn there is indicated of spirit. And some, like in the 16th century paintings, they knew that the unicorn depicted Jesus Christ. So here you are, Aries, you're fully aware of what you see or around you is the illusion, and that your optimism is actually real life, and that you're not getting discouraged by naysayers, and you're kind of like going, that's funny, they're reacting to me that way. Because, okay, I'm supposed to say something from Spirit. No, what is it? Oh. And outside, the leaves are falling from the trees, which is something you would normally see in fall. Here we are in summer, so definitely a hello from Spirit. He's saying it's the shift, like where the shift in consciousness from what was to what is going to happen. So people are, it's kind of the last attempt to block out light workers, and so they're like, you kind of should just shield yourself, use your psychic shielding to stay in your own nice little bubble where it's nice and safe and comfortable. Like, hold your image, your sanctuary in your mind. You know, if you want to use a hot tub, if you want to use a meadow, or you want to use natural spring, you know, like natural fed spring, you know, hot tub but naturally made. And just stay there in that, not like you're staying there in that safe space, but it's protection. If you need extra shielding, have Archangel Michael show you how to shield yourself with his shield, Archangel Michael's shield, or you could configure one that fits you, because they're just really don't, you're a different animal, you're like this unicorn, they really just don't understand you. They don't have to understand you. You understand you. You have the right to respectfully agree to disagree. Again, so Seven of Wands talks about how you need to stand up for your rights. If this is a point in your life, for the first time in your life, where you have had to buck the system, buck authority figures, congratulations. Or if you're getting a little worn down, make sure that your psychic protection is in full force, that you're giving to yourself daily to offset the stress, because the swords here indicate that there's irritability, there's strife, there's some stuff that you need to push through. Also, the Ace of Swords cards talks about you might be pushing too much. You might, oh, the Ten of Swords. You might be pushing too much. You might be actually creating a little bit of animosity for yourself, because you might be pushing too much. You might an attempt to get through, or through this kind of slowed time period in your life, you might be pushing too much. The Ten of Swords talks about kind of like a self-imposed prison, but I really don't see that as a problem for you. Here it is, the Ten of Air card. I see it more as the light at the end of the tunnel. You've learned what you were supposed to learn. You've come full circle, and now you're letting go of things that don't serve you any longer. Like it's rebirth, or you're reborn. Maybe it's talking about people that have divorced, so now they're reinventing themselves. They haven't been at this point in their life, so they don't really know what to do with it. Yes, So it's important to stay away from naysayers, is it not? You could be in your own self-imposed prison, so you need to make sure that you're not doing that to yourself either. The Three of Wands, the Three of Wands card is you looking, and I'm not going to use the one, I had the wrong suit. I pulled the Three of Air, so this is the correct. The Three of Wand card is you looking ahead to see what's in front of you. You're looking ahead. It's like you're working from having this now. You're looking ahead to see that, it's like it's not coming to view. Whatever you wanted to manifest hasn't manifested yet. So you're looking ahead to see what's on the horizon. You're taking that opportunity to yeah, and it's also Supreme Beings going, there's more people out there than you're aware of that want to help you. The Six of Cups card again talks about how it could be talking about the children that you're working with in your life, but it looks like you're going back in the past, and they're saying, please don't romanticize the past. You could be looking to the future and going, hey, am I going to create more of what I don't want to create? Maybe there's some fear. But they're also saying that the moon has to do with facing your fears. That you're facing your fears and that you've won as a result. Now you're operating from a whole different standpoint. That you are you faced your fears, and now you're seeing life from a different perspective, and people don't recognize you for it because they're used to you being small, like in a small box, and they're not used to you being a larger spirit, and they got used to the idea of being able to control you, because then they wouldn't have to deal with their own stuff. And the Three of Wands, you're going, shoot, but it's basically, this card reading is talking about how the worst is past. There's a bright new future in store for you, but there is some fear associated with it because you don't want to recreate some of the things that you've experienced. And the message here is not to don't let the immediate environment prevent you from living the life of your dreams, because there's always going to be naysayers around you. You can't really get stuck in that. You have to allow that to respectfully agree to disagree with people that don't get you, and don't engage, because there's not going to be thankful that not everybody gets you, because obviously you don't get everybody, or you don't appreciate exactly where they're coming from. So that being said, it's just reasonable to admit that there's going to be some people out there that don't get you. And from a mature perspective, I can tell you that when you're in your 20s, that matters more to you than being on your path, or doing things from your doing things because you know they're right. You don't do things that you're doing things in your 20s to fit in. And then light workers or people that have to be movers and shakers, they were not going to fit in. And the funny thing about these swords, you've picked so many swords cards that you have to know this about swords, that they're like politicians, they're the professionals, they're the doctors, they're the lawyers. So they're not lightweights. So that lets you know that you're people that have a mission here and that you need to keep going. And God's behind you. Keep going. You're doing a wonderful job. I know the atmosphere around you is vexing, but let's do our meditation work. Let's do our prayer work. Let's stay away from media and just keep your eye focused on the prize, Aries, because you're beautiful people. It's going to just be a matter of time before you're able to create what's necessary and the thing that you came to create here on the planet. So thanks again for being such beautiful people. You're just brilliant people. And until next time, I wish you much light and love. Bye-bye for now. Have a great week.